Hello, myself Yashmajeethia would like to welcome you to this tutorial of making a new report as well as formatting an existing report in Microsoft Word. I had observed that many of my friends, some professionals and especially students face a problem in making as well as formatting a report in Microsoft Word because they are unaware about some of the features and functions regarding report making in Microsoft Word. This inspired me to make this tutorial. I can guarantee you, if you go sincerely through this complete tutorial, you will be an expert in report writing as well as report formatting in Microsoft Word. Hope this tutorial will be helpful to you.
Basics of report writing. First of all, let us have a look at report structure, because however well you might have done your study or your research, but without proper representation through proper report structure, it might be less appealing. So, as you can see on your screen are the various components of report structure. The very first part you see inside the red boundary is also known as pre-chapter portion, which consists of cover page where you depict your title of the topic, your name, that is author's name, name of your guide, name of your institution, as well as date, month, year, or any other details required by your institution or organization. Then we have abstract, in which you briefly describe about your study. Then comes attestation, where you provide an undertaking regarding originality of your work. Later we have acknowledgements, where you thank the individuals or organizations that have helped you in order to complete your study. Then we have table of contents, also known as index, wherein you have each chapters and subchapters written against the respective page numbers. Then we have list of figures and tables, which consists of the number of figure or number of table against the name against the respective page numbers. Then comes the main part of the report, known as chapter parts. Here you can see we have chapter number 1 with introduction, which has a subsection 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. Similarly, in chapter 3, that is technical chapters, you can see a section 3.1, then we have further subsection 3.1.1, 3.1.2 and so on. You can have it on the basis of your report structure. And last, also known as post chapter portion, consists of two important things. Number one is references, which consists of detailed description of all the citations that you have mentioned in your report. And another thing is appendix, wherein you attach the data which might be required to be reviewed while going through your report. So this is all about report structure. Let us discuss some of the challenges that an individual would face who is not familiar with writing reports in Microsoft Word. So let's first of all go through this file. The very first page is a cover page which consists of title, author's name, guide name, date, university, etc. Then we have an abstract. Then we have attestation page. Further down we have acknowledgements. Then we have table of contents, list of figures, list of tables, and then we have main chapter starting from chapter 1 introduction. Then we have sections 1.1, 1.2. Then we have chapter 2, chapter 3. We have first section 3.1. Then we have first subsection 3.1.1 and further first subsection 3.1 1.1.1 and so on. We have one figure over here for demo purpose and similarly one table over here. Then we have conclusion and finally we have references, as you can see over here, and down further we have appendix. Now let us discuss the very first challenge. Say, suppose while making a report I forgot to introduce a chapter in between chapter number 2 and chapter number 3. So I want to correct my mistake now. So what I will do is I will go on over here, press tab so as to make space for new chapter, select the same format as of this one, 3 times New Roman 14 bold. By default it is the same. I would write 3 new chapter, then we press enter, get back this to 12, stop bold and write over here. So now the problem we face is, so now this becomes chapter number 3, then this should become chapter number 4, but it doesn't happen automatically. So I will go over here, make it number 4 and it works. Similarly I will go at all the places where it is 3 and try to make it 4 in this fashion. But don't you think it's a tedious task? Because despite of doing this over here by converting which was originally 3 to 4, still the problem would persist at table of contents page. You can see over here we have still number 3 as technical chapters. So I would go over here, press enter, write 3, then try to go to same alignment, then I would write new chapter as we mentioned over there, then I would press dots and mention whatever the page number may be and make it as 4, and similarly I will do the exercise over here for 4 4 4 4 and this would again become 5 5 5. Moreover, if the page number also changes, it would be a very tedious task to change all the page numbers over here. Now let's look on to next level of challenge. As you can see, I have a figure and a table over here, and many a times you mention in your text that refer to this table as I have done over here. Similarly, consider an example of table also as shown in table 1. Now while working, if I find out that I need to place some another table above table number 1, so what I will do is I will make space, insert table, I will enter a new table and write the name of the table. So this now becomes table 1 new table. Oh, but this is also table number 1 and here we also table number 1, so it confuses. So we need to go over here and make it table number 2, but actually what we meant over here was the second table which is in the lower part, this one. So I need to go over here, press delete and get table number 2 inserted over here. Similarly I need to go over in the list of tables, I will make this as new table and I will press enter and type out table 2 whatever actual name was and would enter the respective page number. So this was another challenge. Now talking about the main challenge which everyone faces almost who is not familiar with Microsoft Word, is introducing page number in reports. Now the simplest way is click on to over this area, that is footer area, go on to page number, bottom page, and you can select presets. So let us select center. Oh, but the page number appears on the very first title page, that is cover page, which is not required. So the common approach is to click over here on the different first page, so it would disappear from over here. But when we go down, we can see that here the page number directly starts with 2. Instead of it should be 1, and that too as per the standard format. In case of pre-chapter portions, the page number shall be in Roman number, but here it starts with 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 and so on. So here it should be end in Roman number, and then in the main we should have normal page number starting from 1 and so on. So this is also one of the most important or most common challenge experienced while making report in Microsoft Word. So basically we can conclude that in this case various changes we make in formatting a document aren't being reflected automatically where they are linked. So suppose if you make a change in a topic that heading number 4 goes on to the next page, that is, let's an example. We can see over here 3 and 4 on the same page. So let's say 4 was on page 11 and we want it to take to page number 12. So what we do is press enter and bring it to page number 12, which is also a very tedious task because it might affect the formatting after chapter number 4. So once we brought it from 11 to 12, we can see that it doesn't automatically update in index. So we need to go and change over there also. So basically there is no automatic linkage between various components. So we can conclude that the various challenges are faced are due to lack of these linkages, which is already a facility of Microsoft Word, but we are unaware of it. So this was in short about what are the common challenges faced while preparing report in Microsoft Word. Are you afraid because you don't know report formatting using Microsoft Word? Don't worry at all. Just sit back, relax and go through this complete tutorial of report making and formatting using Microsoft Word. I, Yash Majeethia, can assure you that if you can go through this complete tutorial, you would be an expert in report writing and formatting using Microsoft Word. Working with page layout in Microsoft Word. So this would be the screen that would appear to you once you open Microsoft Word. Now first of all you need to go over page layout tab over here and click on it. A ribbon would appear which would have many of the options like theme, effects, margins, orientation, size, column and many more. So the first thing we need to do is to determine the size of the page that we will be using for our report. So we can click over here and select various sizes available from this list, and say by default it would be A4, and here also we are using A4, so we won't be changing it. Then if you want to write a report in 2 or 3 columns, you can go over here and set the same over here. Now orientation. Generally the reports are written in portrait manner, but if you want to change it to landscape under some certain circumstances, you can do it from over here under orientation tab. And the main and the most important thing under page layout is margins, because margins usually determine the top, bottom, left and right spaces to be kept before the main text. So as from various available presets, you can select any one of them, and in case of side to side paged printing, you can use mirrored margins too. And normally is 2.54 cm on each and every 4 sides, but say if you want to change it, you can go here onto custom margins and make a change over here respectively. And regarding gutter, what it does is you can see over here in this pane, suppose I write 5 cm gutter, which means it would make the area over here on the left side 5 cm completely inaccessible to write, and after that it would leave a margin of 2.54 as you have specified over here. So basically we don't require a gutter in general. So now we press OK. So this was all about working with page layout in Microsoft Word. Working with styles in Microsoft Word. So as you can see on your screen are the various components of the report. Now you can see that the pre-chapter portion as well as the post-chapter portion would have almost the same type of formatting in case of titles, that is in case of title for cover page, abstract, attestation, acknowledgement, so on, as well as in references and appendix. So let us define a specific formatting for each of these headings. So let us name this heading style as unnumbered titles 1, which would be having Times New Roman font of size 14 with bold, which is aligned towards left, and it would start from a new page. That is, each of these would be starting from a new page. Similarly, let's have a look onto the chapter portion. Now here we have multiple criterias. Now let's say first of all we have heading level 1, which would be specifically for chapter 1 introduction, chapter 2 state of the art, chapter 3 technical chapters, chapter 4 conclusion, and so on. Now over here each of this title would be formed using Times New Roman font with a size of 14, which would be bold, aligned towards left, and they would also start from the new page. If you go further, that is on section 2, that is we can also say as heading level 2, that is we have 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 3.1, 3.2, 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3, and so on. Here we also use Times New Roman as a font with size 13, which is bold, aligned towards left, and it would not start from a new page. Similarly, going further, we have heading level 2, which is 3.1.1, 3.1.2, which is also a Times New Roman with font size of 12, which is bold, aligned towards left, and it is also not starting from the new page. And similarly, you can have styles defined as per your requirements. And regarding the main text, that is other than the titles, would be Times New Roman of size 12 with alignment justified, and it will also not start from the new page. Now let us try this out in Microsoft Word. So let's say we want to make a cover page. So the very first thing we need to do is, first of all, let's put 5 or 6 enter so that we go on to some low portion of the page. And now let us go over here and click on the title, as you can see over here in the style. So once we click, it is already selected under the title format. Now let's say project title over here. Now let's say we don't want this default type and we want to change it. So you can directly click over here on title tab, right click over here, go on to modify. Now in this dialog box you can see many options. So first thing we want to do is to change the font color to automatic, that is black over in this case. Then we want to make it bold, center aligned, make font as Times New Roman. You can still see there is an underline. If you want to remove this, you have many special features, as you can see over here. Now under border, select none and click OK. So you can see that the underline or the line below the title has disappeared, and you can click on OK. Now let's press enter. Now say you want to enter a subtitle, so you can again go over here, click over here and enter the subtitle over here. But again you want to change its style, again you can follow the same steps, right click, modify, choose your style over here, make it bold, or you want to make it Times New Roman, center aligned, and click on OK. Now you want to introduce something which is very repetitive for use. Let's say all other things in this page, that is author's name, your guide's name, date, university name, would remain constant throughout. So how to enter it and how to define a new style over here? So let's say you want to enter your name, that is author's name, in the following format. You want center align, bold, you say with Times New Roman font, size of say about 14. So you have determined a specific type of format. Now let us type over here author name, which would be your name, and you want to keep on this style as a repetitive style. So what to do now? So you can do one thing, you can just select the author name that you have written down over here, click over here on this small arrow on styles, and you can write over here as save selection as a new quick style. So it would ask the style name, so you can write cover page miscellaneous. Okay, and click on OK. So now you have author name as a cover page miscellaneous type. Now suppose you want to enter the guide name similarly. So similarly you can enter it over here. You want to enter the day and date. Suppose we want to enter just the month and year, we will write it in this fashion. And let's say we want to copy something from other file and we want to paste it. This is a bit about formatting and you can work out with it. I want to paste something which I brought from another file, so let me paste it over here. Now you can see that this is not under the cover page style, this is under somewhere under normal. So I want to convert it into cover page style, so I will just select this text and click on cover page. So it's automatically selected in the format that we wanted. Now I just would be required to adjust it in this page. So this is how the cover page is worked out. Now after we are done with cover page, let's move forward. Now as you know, as per our report structure, the very first thing should be an abstract. So as we had discussed, let us provide a new heading label to abstract. So for that we also need to create a new style. So first of all, let us write abstract over here, then we would select it, then again go over here, save selection as a new quick style. We would enter the name that was unnumbered titles 1. Then we would also go over here to modify, under which we would make it left align and change this title level to say about 14 size, make it bold, make color as an automatic. And the next important thing we wanted to do is to make sure that all this style with unnumbered title 1 starts from the new page. So let's go over here onto format, then over here we have paragraph, and let's go over here to line and page breaks, and just we need to tick over here, that is page break before. So what it would do is it would tend each and every page bearing a title under the style unnumbered title 1 to start from a new page. Now let's also go on to indent and spacing and make line spacing as 1.5. You can also make changes on before and after spacing. Before, what usually does is, suppose this is spacing, the value you enter over here would be the space above this, while after is the space below this. So we generally use line spacing, and let's make it 1.5 over here. Press OK and press OK. So you can see over here we got our heading under the new style, that is unnumbered title 1. Now let's write for below it. So say we want to add a meta over below it. Now if you directly press enter, you would jump onto the new page, because as you know, under this style everything would start from a new page. So in order to write below abstract, you need to click on normal. You need to press enter, go on to normal and get back to this page. And once you are over here, now let us start writing. But first of all, let's see what the normal style says. It's not as per our requirement, so let's first of all set it as Times New Roman 12, justified, automatic, and let's set the line spacing from paragraph to 1.5 lines and press OK. Press OK. So now we can see over here on abstract page. Now let's write abstract is brief description within one page, and let's also bring some other which I'd already written. So all this is under normal font style. Why title is under unnumbered title style. Now let's move on to next component, that is attestation. So what we need to do now is press enter and directly go on to this, that is unnumbered titles over here. And once you click on it, you can see that you directly move on to the new page. We were over here, somewhere over here, say over here, and when you just press unnumbered titles and we move to the new page, and we directly write attestation over here. Unnumbered attestation over here, press enter, go to normal and come back, and let us write I understand and any other thing. I just paste it over here in order to save the time. So this is about attestation. Now let's move towards acknowledgement. So again in the similar fashion, go to unnumbered titles, write acknowledgement, then press enter, come back to normal. So we'll get back to over here, and then we can write as we want, acknowledge anyone who has helped you in this. And so I also pasted this so we can save the time over here. So after we are done with this, we would move on to the next part. So again click on unnumbered titles, we would write over here table of contents, press enter, go back to normal and keep it blank as of now. Then we'll again go on to unnumbered titles, write down list of figures, press enter, normal. Again we'll go on to the new page using unnumbered titles, list of tables, normal. So this is how we entered all the unnumbered titles as well as text under some of these titles using styles in Microsoft Word. Now let us continue to work with adding titles as well as text in the main chapters. So after the list of tables, let's press enter and say move on to a new page. So here we are. Now over here, let's select heading 1 style as we had discussed for the main chapter numbers, that is chapter 1, which was introduction and so forth. So let's click over here on headings. So we have currently selected heading styles, and let's write down introduction. But what we think is this is not what we wanted. So let's again similarly right click over here, modify, let's set this to automatic bold 14 times New Roman left, and last but not the least, again this would be 1.5 lines and it would start from the new page. So click over your page break before and click on OK. You can see there is some excess space generated over here which we don't want. So again go to format, paragraph, indent and spacing, and make this as 0. Just see the difference over here, what happens. Click OK and press OK. So this is the style. So in order to save our time, let us again select normal style over here, and I would paste a text so that we can save our time a bit over here. Now let's say I want a next level below it. So if this is chapter number 1, I want something like 1.1. So I would go on to heading level 2 and I would write over here say background and context of my study, but I don't like this. So again I will right click, modify, set this style, let's bring this to 13 bold, it's okay, times New Roman, and I will make it left aligned, but I don't need on this on new page, so it's okay. Press directly OK, press enter, go, it will be automatically normal, and I can write over here whatever I want. Then again I want a next section, that is scope and objectives. So again this would be similar to heading level 2, and then I would put text, and this would continue so on and so forth. But now the problem is I want to number it. Can I really do it? So that this becomes 1, this would become 1.1, and this would automatically become 1.2. Yes, it's simple, very simple. Just go over here under home ribbon, just go on to this tab, that is besides bullet and number. This tab you can see multi-level list. Basically it helps us to choose different styles for multi-level list. So you can see over here in this style that we have numbering as per headings, that is for very first title we have heading 1 we have 1, for heading 2 we have 1.1, for heading 3 we have 1.1.1, and so on. So let's select it. So you can see this is 1, that becomes introduction. You have 1.1, 1.2. say I want to enter a third level over here, so I would just click on it. So you can see it becomes 1.2.1, that is just below this, that is this is 1.2, and this becomes 1.2.1, and I can again modify it as and when I want it. So this is the general style that I would be using for it. And don't forget to check the paragraph spacing. Most probably it would 1.5 lines, but it is nice to check it once. Click OK. If I again want the same, I can again click on it, it would give me 1.2.2. and if I require further down, that is below this, that is inside 1.2.2, I require one more level, I can still click over here and get the same, and I can modify it as I require. So this is the formatting that I would be doing for it, left align, okay. And I can write down the text over here whatever I want, or I can write the title for this level over here, and I can work out. So this is how you can number and work with headings in the chapter portion. So I've added some more text, as you can see over here, regarding 3, that is your 3.1, then I have 3.1.1, which further goes down to 3.1.1.1, and so on. And similarly I've also added 4, that is conclusion over here. Now let's say after conclusion we want to add, say, references. So we'll again go on to unnumbered style over here, and let's write references. Press enter, again press normal, then we'll go down, and now let's say keep it blank as it is as of now. And lastly we want appendix, so we'll again click on unnumbered titles and write appendix 1, under which say the format would be normal. So we can again get back to over here. So this was all about styles and working with multi-level list numbering in Microsoft Word. Inserting citations and footnote in your report while working in Microsoft Word. Now, many times you might have quoted something or used some data from a specific journal, specific report, specific conference proceedings, or video or a website or etc. sources. So it is imperative to cite the source from where you have used a specific source or specific information. So let's see how it can be done. Let's say I'd used this line from some source, so let us cite it over here. So in order to do citation, you need to first of all go on to this reference tab over here, and once you enter into this reference tab, then you need to click over here on the type of citation. That is, there are various styles available, and depending upon your need you can select any one of them or as specified by your institution. Now here we are selecting APS 6th edition formatting, and now we'll go here on to insert citation. Now here we have various options that add new source, add new placeholder, search libraries. We would go with add new source. So now here we are being asked the type of source. So we have a long list of options available, whether it is a book section, journal, article in periodical, conference proceedings, report, website, or any other source, interview, film, sound recording. So we have a wide range of options available over here. Now let's say we are selecting a journal article. So you would be required to write an author name over here, and in case the author is a company or any organization, you need to enter it as a corporate author. So let's say the author is Yashmajeethia. So Yash is a name while Majeethia is a surname. So mostly what you would do up ending is you directly type Yashmajeethia, but this is wrong. This is not the correct thing to be done, because it has some specific format by which the surname needs to become before the name. So you can just select it and delete. Always, if possible, add the author using this edit option over here besides it. Click on edit, enter the last name, enter the first name and middle name if you want to, and click on add over here. If you have some any other author, again you can again type his last name and his first name and add over here and press OK. So this is how it would appear, that is over here. So always try entering using this edit button over here. Now you can write the title of your article. So let us just write title of my article over here. Now journal name in which it was published, the year, say it was in 2010, and the page number. You can see over here in each and every field, when you go it shows you the example, so you need to type exactly in the same manner. Say it was 10 to 18, and you have some other options also. If you click over here on show all bibliography fields, it can show you a wide variety of other data that can be entered over here. Similarly, if we go on to say website, now you have to enter over here the name of web page which is typically shown in your title bar. Then we have name of the website, that is basically www.xyz.com, while here on the bottom part you have to paste the actual URL. So this would be just this plus slash and any other thing which will be coming over here, while here we have just the name of the website, and here you need to mention the year, month and day when it was accessed. So we keep on to journal article and press OK. So you can see over here Majeethia and last name 2010. This depicts, when you go move your mouse over here, it changes its colors and it comes in this format. So you can come to know that this has been cited, and if you want to edit it, you can directly go over here into citation options, edit source, and you can directly edit whatever you want over here. So this was entering citations in Microsoft Word. Now let us go. We want to enter a footnote for this line. So now again go on under the reference tab, go on to insert footnote, click over here, and footnote would be inserted over here, and you can write whatever you want. This is taken from ABC source and so on. Now let's say we need to enter some another source over here, or let's say we need to enter some another source over here. Now you might have entered that source somewhere in some another file in this system. So but it is not visible over here, but you need not to worry, you can bring it over here. Just click on the manage source tab over here and you can see all the citations that you had used till now, and this is the current one, while these are all the other that you have used till now. Suppose you want to bring anyone over here. Let's say you want to bring this citation over here, this one. So just click on it, press copy, so it would become in current list, and close it. So now I click over here, go on to insert citations, and I can see that in my current list. So in this way you can also bring in the sources from other files into this file. So this is all about working with citations and inserting a footnote in Microsoft Word. Inserting captions and cross-referencing for report using Microsoft Word. Now let's say at the end of chapter 3, that is in section 3.2, I have one figure, as you can see over here, and I want to label this figure. So here in this case we would again go on to the references over here, click on insert caption, and we can see over here that is caption is figure 1. It is figure 1 because the label from over here is selected as a figure. If we had a table, we had selected a table. For equation, we have an equation. So now let's keep this to figure, and we can determine the position, that is below the selected item or above selected item, or wherever you want. Now let's keep on to below, and we can also control the numbering, how we want to start it and in which form we want it, and then we can click on OK. Now here we have figure 1, and if we wanted to name it, we can name it over here, or we can also we would have named it over there. So now let's name it over here as, say, my model flowchart. Okay, so this is the name. Now here you can see that this, if we move on to home tab and we find its style, it comes under a caption. So if you want to edit this style, you can go over here in the modify and edit it as we did it previously. But now let's not edit it, and again go on to references. Now you can see over here in the text, in this portion, that we have written figure has automatic figure numbering, and it is possible to make cross references to figure as shown in figure number 1. Now if we introduce a figure before this one, then this would basically become figure number 2, but this figure is linked with the text written over here. So how can we link it so it also changes automatically? So for this we need to select this figure 1, go on to cross reference, then we can select the items that is to which we want to cross reference. From here we will select a figure. So this is a figure which we want to cross reference. If you have multiple figures, you would be having a long list over here, and we can select what we want to enter. Entire caption, only label and number, only caption text, page number, what. So now let us select only label and number and click on insert and close. So now when you click over here, you would see this gray mark which indicates control plus click to follow this link. So if we click over here, we would directly move to over here. So this is how we can use it for figures. Now let us enter a table over here. So to save time, I have just copied one from my database, and again we want to enter a caption over here. So we follow the same thing, insert caption. Now here in this case we will choose a table. For figure it shows 2 number automatically, but here we will choose a table, and we'll write a description of the table, that is details about media. So you can place a hyphen or whatever you want over here and press an OK. So this is table 1, details about media. Now again this also is represented over here, so we'll again select this cross reference. Now here we'll select this timetable, and we have an option over here table, and we'll select only label and number and click insert. So and close. So now if we press Ctrl and click on this, we would be directly brought onto this table. Now suppose we want to add another table prior to this table. So let's say I want to enter a new table over here. So I would go on to insert table, and I would select a table, say of the size, and I'd inserted over here. Now I need to enter a caption for this one, so I would go on to references, insert caption, table number 1. You can see over here table number 1, okay, hyphen new table, and I will click on OK. Oh, so you can see that this has come up above the table, and this one has automatically become 2. It is because of the setting that I had kept it, that is to keep it above the table. It came above. We can bring it below if we want. Okay. So now you can see that, but over here where we had already actually linked this text, that is table 1 written over here, with this table. So actually this is table number 2 now, so this should also say as table number 2. So we can just click on any one of the cross reference caption, right click on it and click on update field. It would update it automatically. So now this is again linked with its original table where it should be. So this is all about working with captions and cross referencing in Microsoft Word. Inserting references or bibliography at the end of your report in Microsoft Word. Once you are done with compiling your report and entering citations wherever required throughout the document, the final task you need to do is to write down all the citations in detail at the end of the final chapter. So for this, we'll go on to the references page that we had created and click over here. Don't worry, you need not to type it over here. Microsoft Word is smart enough to do it itself and to also auto update itself. So for that, first of all, we'll go on to this bibliography under references tab over here, and if you want the title bibliography by itself, that is Word write it's for you, then you select this. If you want the title as work cited, you can select this, but if you have your own title, as in this case we can just select insert bibliography. So it would list down the documents that we had used. If you remember, this is just the one which we had used above in it, and where only the name of the author and the year was displayed, but here we have the name of the article as well as in which journal it was published and the page numbers over here. And in order to auto update this list, you can just click on it and update a field. So let me show an example how it would work. Say suppose I had entered a new citation over here, say a corporate author named XYZ company with a title, say just for example, journal name anything, year 2012 and page 55 to 60, and say if I say it okay, you can see it has been inserted over here. So you need to just go over here, click on this, it would turn to be gray, right click and update field. You can see this has been added automatically, and this would always be in alphabetical sequence. So this is all about inserting references or bibliography at the end of report in Microsoft Word. Inserting page numbers in your report while working with Microsoft Word. Inserting page numbers for reports is considered to be one of the most challenging tasks in the whole report writing process, and due to this, many people compile the different parts of the report into different files as a whole. But there is a very smart way to do it using Microsoft Word. Now, we would go in this by section. So, let's first of all come on to the cover page. So, as we all know, cover page doesn't require any page number, so we will skip through it and we will reach on to the abstract page. So first of all, first task we need to do is to break the page over here. So we'll click over here somewhere besides abstract. Now for this process, we would go on to page layout view, then we would go over here to breaks and click over here the next page. So the page, although which was appearing beforely as disconnected, but actually is disconnected now. So now when we move on to the footer of the abstract, we can double click over here on the footer section. You can see footer section 2. The footer on the cover page would be footer section 1. Okay, so this is footer section 2 which we have along our abstract page. See, this is footer section 1 and this now becomes footer section 2. You can also see further down everything would be as footer section 2. So this style would be applicable throughout footer section 2. So now let us insert a page over here at the bottom, at the center. Oh, but it's starting with page number 2. It is because it's still linked with the previous one. So we need to uncheck this box over here, link to previous. So let's click over here. Oh, still it's 2. So now we need to go over here on page number, format page number, start at 1, and we can also define the style. Basically a Roman character is used for initial pages, so we'll select Roman style and click on OK and just click outside on the area. So now we can see that there is no page number on the title page. Oh, it's still there, you can see it over here. So let's double click over here, select it and just delete this page. So by just pressing delete you can delete it. Now let us once again go through the entire pages. So we have no page number on title page. When we come on to abstract, we have the page number in Roman number 1. Oh, something is missing. Let's press delete to bring it back. This is attestation, which has it in Roman number 2, acknowledgement in 3, table of contents in 4, list of figures in 5, list of table in 6, and then starts the chapter number 1. Oh, which also has in a Roman format, but we don't want it and we want this number to start with 1 again in normal characters. So let's again put your mouse somewhere over here, possibly at 1. Go on to page layout, line breaks, breaks, click on next page. So again this has been created on next page. So yes, you are right. We will double click over here and you can see over here as footer section 3, while previously it was footer section 2 in case of Romans. So now we can go over here, we can just go over here. So if you want to change the position, you can change it through here, or you can directly click on format page numbers. You will select this 1 2 3 4 type of number ring. We will start at 1 over here and click on OK, and click outside area on the outside area. So now you can see here it ends with Roman character 6, that is list of table ends with Roman character 6, while here it starts with page number 1 onwards again, and it continues to the end of the document. If you again want to change the numbering pattern for appendix, you can do so again by clicking over here, going on to page layout, breaks, next page, clicking onto the footer and repeating the same process again. So this is all about inserting page numbers for report in Microsoft Word. Inserting list of figures and list of tables for your report in Microsoft Word. Now, as you know, we had kept a component of list of figures as a part of our report where we wanted to list all the figure along with the number, that is the number of the figure, the name of the figure and the page number. So here also you need not to worry, you will not be required to do this task manually. It would be automatically and smartly done by Microsoft Word. For that you need to go on to references over here, so click on references, and from our reference you can see over here insert table of figures. Click on this box. Now from here you need to select what you want to insert, that is whether you want to insert a equation table, a figure table or a table. So here we want to insert a list of figure, not a list of table, so we would click on list of figure and then we will just click it. We can see a preview over here and just click on OK. So this is how it has been listed. Now let us do similarly for list of table. So we'll click over here, list, insert table of figures. Here we'll consider table and press OK. You can modify the style if you want using this tab, and we'll press OK. So now here you can see there are two tables on the page number 5. So let's go on to them. You can press Ctrl and click on them to directly reach over here. Now say on after this table, that is after this table I want to enter another table. So I will go on to insert table, draw table, then we'll again go on to references, insert, I will go below it, insert caption, table number 3, I will write it name, newly entered table, that is latest. Okay, and I will click on OK over here. You can see it's been inserted over here, but it doesn't still appear over here. So you need not to worry about this. Just click on this, anywhere you can see the gray line appearing, right click and click on update field, and here it would be asking what is updating the table figures. Select one of the following options. So do you want to update page number only or do you want to update the entire table? Now here we'll select update entire table, so all the changes done would be incorporated, and we'll click on OK. So we can see the new table has also been entered over here automatically. Similarly, if you enter any new figure, you can click over here, right click and click on update field, and similarly update the list of figures. So this is all about inserting and updating list of figures and tables in Microsoft Word. Table of contents for your report in Microsoft Word. Now after you are done with completely compiling your report, now you would like to enter the page numbers for the same. So this would also be done by Microsoft Word automatically, and you need not to worry about the same. So to do that, you need to click over here under table of contents, somewhere over here. We click over here, we go on to references, click over here on the table of contents, and if you want with this title, as you can see over here, contents or table of contents, to type it automatically, you can click this one. So it's basically a template, but if you want to directly insert, the page numbers and titles, click on Insert Table of Contents. So while clicking over here on this tab, we would be getting this type of options. Now here we need to select how many labels we want to add into this. Okay, so here keep is from template, and let's say we want to enter up to heading level 3, that is 1, 1.1 and 1.1.1. Now we'll go on to options over here and we'll set the TOC level, that is table of contents level. So here you can see that heading number 1 has a level of 1, heading 2 has level 2, heading 3 has level 3. Now you might have also noticed that something was also equivalent to heading level 1, that is the titles such as abstract, say table of contents, list of figures are also ones which need to be included into table of contents and bear a similar importance to the chapter number titles. So we will find out the style that we had used for unnumbered titles. So here it is unnumbered titles, and here we will place the TOC level same as the main titles, that is chapter titles, so it is 1, and click on OK. So here you can see the format. So we have heading level 1, unnumbered titles 1, heading level 2 and up to heading level 3, and we can click on OK, and you can see the whole table has been generated automatically. And here we have table of contents, here we have Roman numbers, and here we have normal numbers thereby. Now let's see one added feature of this one. Let's say chapter number 3 ends by page 7, that is it ends on page number 6, and we insert 2 pages at the end of chapter number 3.2. so let's go over here, that is that let's find 3.2. so here is 3.2. so what we do is we further extend it down by 2 pages. So now chapter number 4, which was initially at 7, now comes on to page number 9, as you can see over here. Now let's see, has that been updated by Microsoft Word? So chapter number 4 is still at page number 7, and so on, everything would be updated by 2 pages. So we can click anywhere over here and everything would become gray. Then we can click, or that is we can right click and click on update field, and it would similarly ask update page numbers only or update entire table. We click on update entire table and press OK. So just observe this, 7 would become 9. So if we go back to over here, 7 has already become 9, and so on, everything has been changed. So this is all about inserting table of contents in Microsoft Word as well as updating them. Editing your report in Microsoft Word. Now let's say this is the paragraph which I want to edit, but I'm not sure whether my editing would be perfect or whether the former sentence would make a better sense than the later, which I might change. So for that you have a something known as track changes option, which is present in the review tab over here. So you can click on to review tab and click on this track changes option. So what it basically does, it will track all the changes you do in the document. So suppose if I want to delete this portion and would like to add something else, so if I select this and press backspace or delete, it will show it in a red line. And if I add something new, this is what new I have added. Okay, so now you can see over here, this is final showing markup, which means it shows the corrections that you have made, that you have proposed. Now if you go on to original, it would be the one that was actual. It is not neutral text but a fill, as you can see over here. This is original one. So this is in what appears in original. This is original showing markup, that is the corrections that you have proposed. Similarly, final showing markup also would be the same, that is the showing the corrections that you have proposed. And in case of final, it is the final corrected line. So this is what we have added. So let again go back to final showing markup. So this is what you have done. So suppose now you want to decide whether you want to keep this or you want to keep this. Okay, so let's assume that you want to accept the proposed change. So now you'd go over here and just click over here on accept, and or you can go over here and click on accept and move to next. So this has already been accepted, as you know. As you can note, this is turned black, but this is yet to be accepted. You have deleted it, but are you accepting that change? If you want to accept it, you can click over here again, and it says the document contains no comments or track changes. So everything has been updated step by step in this case. Now also it might be possible that you want to send this document to your colleague or to your friend, saying that here something needs a special attention and you need to explain in more detail or something like that. So for that you need to enter a comment. Say you need to say that you need to explain this in more detail. So select this terms, click on new comment, and you can write your comment, explain more properly or something like that, and he or she will figure it out and can edit it similarly. And once he or she has done editing this, so say this has been edited, he or she can accept the changes, as you know, and can also delete the comment if they want by clicking inside this box, right click and clicking delete comment. And finally you can again accept these changes and move on further to work out. So this is all about editing your report using Microsoft Word.